On this episode of Why Watch That.
Everybody has an Uncle Frank somewhere. You do.
Yeah.
You do. You may know it now or you may know it later on when people start talking.
And his father, Daddy Mac, is played by Stephen Root.
Please, thank you for that. That just makes me happy. It does.
Where's my stapler? Stephen Root. We are not in 1970. Thankfully. Okay, for a whole bunch of us. Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so all of y'all going, I wish I could go back to when.
You know what? I was about to get political. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, all right. Let me calm it down then for you.
Yeah, calm it down.
Why Watch That is a podcast featuring the critic
and referee who go head-to-head on a quest to discover the best movies
and TV shows Hollywood has to offer. Expect the unexpected from the critic.
Well, nothing gets past the ref.
We do all the work.
So you don't have to. Welcome to Why Watch That. This episode of Why Watch That is supported by Entrepreneur Meal Plan. It helps leaders and professionals feed their bodies and businesses well. You know, critic, I got a chance to attend a wonderful event by EMP here in Los Angeles. And it was so amazing because Brandy Cochran was able to gather people from all sorts of walks of life. We were able to gather together, have real talk, and some real good food too. It was a hit.
It's food for the soul and the body, which is so hard to find. So if you want to learn more about Entrepreneur Meal Plan, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, go to entrepreneurmealplan.com.
A Why Watch That sneak peek.
Now, the critic got a chance to see a sneak peek of a new movie coming to us from Amazon Studios. Watch it. On November 26th, right around Thanksgiving. And it is kind of that kind of movie. That family gathering and all, you know what, breaks loose. Uncle Frank is directed and it's written by as well, Alan Ball. You know, I worked for a Sean Ball in New York City, and he always said Sean Ball. So now I have to say Alan Ball, even though he may not be he's from Georgia. So there you go. He wrote it, he directed it, and it has a pretty stunning cast. When I tell you stunning. Now, remember, the critic already gave us a sneak of the sneak peek when he watched this at AFI, and we already know some of his thoughts. This is going to be the thorough review, but let's just run through this cast. My gosh. Paul Bettany, yes, Vision from the Avengers, but Paul Bettany is starring. Sophia Lillis is in it. We have Steve Zahn, Judy, Greer, Margo, Martindale, Stephen Root, Lois Smith. I mean, on and on and on. You know, Peter Macdissi. Like, we can keep going and going. I am intrigued by this. I know you already alluded to some things, so I'm interested to hear how that all flushes out. But, you know, Uncle Frank, is this the uncle that you thought you knew? That is the question. Is this the uncle? Everybody has an Uncle Frank somewhere. You do. Yeah. You do. You may know it now or you may know it later on when people start talking. But what is this something that we're going to be watching? Now, you said it's released by Amazon Studios. That doesn't mean Amazon Prime quite yet. So please note that, listeners.
Yeah, and just on that, thank you. I need to update my notes for you, Ref. So now I just checked Prime site. It will be on Amazon Prime.
Before?
Yeah, on November 25th.
Okay, so that's perfect. It's definitely a Thanksgiving release. And it seems like they're hoping to pick up some traction.
Exactly. Now, will they? So Let me shake myself now. Let me shake it off. Now,
shake it.
the story. It really comes to us from the perspective of Beth. And Beth is played by Sophia, and she has an uncle. It's called Uncle Frank. That's her uncle. And she loves Uncle Frank when she sees him. Okay?
Oh.
Now, she is living down south, of course, okay, in South Carolina. South Cackalack.
Say.
And Uncle Frank is in New York City. He is a professor at NYU.
Nice.
And he don't like coming home. I'm gonna tell you that.
Why?
Well, he and his father, they don't really get along. And his father, Daddy Mac, is played by Stephen Root.
Please, thank you for that. That just makes me happy. It does.
Where's my stapler? Stephen Root. So it's not a good relationship. Why not? What happened between these two? We don't know from the beginning. I'll tell you now. Now, his mom is played by Margo Martindale, by the way, as well. Ooh.
Oh, such a great. Why weren't they husband and wife before? This is just perfect.
They could continue to be in perpetuity. Okay. Now I will tell you, you don't get a lot of them together. You don't. So,
okay.
Maybe we could do Alan Ball. Hey, let's do a backstory of the two of them. Do their story.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure it would be a story.
So, Uncle Frank comes home and we get to understand what Beth thinks about him, all of that. And something happens where he tells her, hey, you can come to New York, come to NYU when it's time, and I will take care of you, essentially. This is where you belong. You need to get out of South Carolina. What does her parents think about that?
Oh, boy.
Because her parents are played by Steve Zahn and Judy Greer. And Steve Zahn's character, Mike, Frank's brother, what does he think about Frank? Is he like his father or not? Or is he something you can't predict? So, of course, Beth grows up in the movie. She ends up going to NYU and she discovers the truth about Uncle Frank. What is life like in NYU? Okay. Who's he living with? Well, we find out, and they just tell you anyway, so I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. He has his longtime partner he's living with, Wally. And Wally is played by Peter Macdissi.
Is this a period piece? I think it's important to... Okay, there we go.
Yes. So just know, and thank you for that, because we need to get into it. It's set in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
So this is important, this part. This of course matters. No one in the family knows that Frank is a gay man. They certainly don't know that he's living with his partner, Wally, in New York City. Now, how does Beth come to learn this information? You'll see. It's not as straightforward as you may think. So she finds this out. How does she take this in? How does Frank take in that now she knows about this?
Yeah.
And what happens when they have to go back home? They do. They both have to go back home. I won't give that one away.
Okay.
They both have to go back home for a particular reason. And the question is, will all of these issues be able to come up and be resolved or not? Well, I mean, it is Alan Ball, so it will. And by the way, for Peter Macdissi, who plays Wally, he was in 6 Feet Under, which was created by Alan Ball. Now, let's talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Great cast.
Oh, God.
Like everybody here's doing their jobs. Paul Bettany makes perfect sense in the role. I like Sophia as Beth. You buy it where she's not quite old enough to be in college, but then she is just beginning college. All of that makes sense. When we see the rest of the actors, Steve Zahn, Judy Greer, Margo Martindale, Stephen Root, Lois Smith is in it. Like, these people know what they're doing. However, they're mostly underutilized.
Oh, no.
If you're going to tell a familiar and sad story with a tinge of hope, it has to be written with insight for today. We are not in 1970, thankfully. Okay, for a whole bunch of us. Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so all of y'all going, oh, I wish I could go back to when?
You know what? I was about to get political. I'm not going to do that.
Okay. All right. Let me calm it down then for you.
Yeah, calm it down.
So, but this is not written that way. Now, it's not bad. It's fine. And it's detailed. And it has good intentions and a good message. But it needs to be progressive somehow instead of regressive. It needs immediacy. Regardless, while it doesn't soar, I will say that the actors save it overall. I'm glad that they've now come to the understanding that it should be a Prime Video release. So,
yeah.
You know, if you're interested, you'll be fine watching it. If you heard that story and you were interested, you'll be fine. You might get something out of it. It just felt to me, Ref, like I was in a different time. And in this situation, I didn't want to go back. I didn't.
Well, here's the thing. When you watch the trailer, and again, I haven't seen this, you have. It does come across as a comedy. You know, you got the partner sneaking in the car and, you know, you cast Stephen Root, who could go either way. You cast Margo Martindale, who could go either way. You cast Paul Bettany, who could go either way. So, you know, you do it. And then we know the subject matter and you know that it's a time period. So it really could be something very funny.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like in this review that it's something that, oh, let's gather everybody, you know, we've just eaten some turkey, or maybe you're by yourself and you've Zoomed with your family and you just want to snuggle up and watch something, a funny situation. Doesn't sound funny.
Yeah, it has comedic moments, but that's not what lingers. And you'll see, in the end, you're not going to be laughing and rolling around. I mean, this is like, there's some serious stuff that happens here. So, you know, they can call it whatever they want. The way it's presented, is there some comedy? Yeah, it's not coming from Stephen Root. He ain't funny. It is not funny. Okay, it really is some of the stuff that Wally does. So that's Frank's partner again. What he does, that's where you get some of the comedy. You need that kind of character in this. It just doesn't all gel.
Well, there you have it. Uncle Frank is going to be available for anyone who has Prime. And I'm not sure, it's not going to be released theatrically at all, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not either.
We're not clear on that. You can check your listings if you really want to get out during the holidays. I mean, this sounds like something you want to do, but for sure, Amazon Prime will have it available on November 25th. And I don't know, Uncle Frank, either you're going to give him a call or you're not.
Thanks for listening. For additional resources, visit WhyWatchThat.com.
Good idea, and we'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and leave comments, feedback, and you can rate us on iTunes.
We'll see you next week.
See you.